Hey folks, this is Bumbly. Welcome to episode 1 of Pillars of Eternity, The White March. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Last week, and we were in the ruins. We were just entering the ruins, so we're gonna start on that. I do have to apologize that I know I'm a new YouTuber, and I'm trying to build up a channel. This early stages of my YouTube career, I guess, are gonna be filled with lots of newbie mistakes and problems. I noticed last week that there was no sound, and I had already recorded about an hour, and I don't know if I wanted to restart. And I noticed that the sound didn't record, and the in-game sound. My recording worked just fine myself, but my actual sound in the game did not work. And sorry about that. I did do some awkward pauses while I was listening to dialogue, and I was hoping that you guys were able to hear that dialogue too. Unfortunately, that was not the case. But we now have sound. I hear the music playing, and I did a test video. The sound is working. So we're going to continue on where we left off. I think I mentioned last episode, that I have not played this game in a very, very long time. About almost 3 years since it was released. Over 3 years, actually. I think it was spring of 2015 that this game was released, and I started playing. I got really far, and as I explained last week, I did have some health issues that prevented me from playing, and by the time that was resolved, I had forgotten where I was, and I tried to play again, and I was just lost. So it's been a while since I tried playing a new campaign with this game, and we're going to hop right in. This is going to be like I think we're going to be doing this every Sunday and every Wednesday to get episodes out a little bit faster. We're going to continue on with our CK2 Let's Play as well, but that will be mostly a nightly thing. And I'm thinking about doing other videos throughout the week to kind of do maybe a day, every other day, maybe a different game. I was thinking about playing Doom. I did some tests on that, and we'll see how that goes. That is a very graphically intense game. Not that my processor or my graphics card couldn't handle it. The game can play on high settings and at times ultra. If you ever played Doom, it does have a lot of particles. It's a very gorgeous game. So a lot of times ultra does not work very well. But we'll talk about Doom later on, and we're going to work on playing Pillar of Eternity. So I think we're going to start working our way into the cavern here. A lower level of the ruins has been blocked off by fallen rubble.
Certainly.
So we've got our character, Gornan. We also have Calicia. And then we also have Hodin. And then we have our little pet pig, ethereal pig, Hampton. This looks like a right place for traps. I've been playing these kind of games for a very long time, and you can kind of get a
That should be far
hint.
enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Calicia shakes her head. Windstorm of a kind that they only get in Air Glanfath. Not too many people live through them, and it's hard to know what's true. I believe that was a Bivouac. Bivouac? The Glenfathan believe... the word is Bivouac. To them, it is the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? It's a good question. Who attacked us? Glanfathans. Those be the hut dwellers Adema warned you about. Look to be Fangs of Galawain, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go from ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Adema. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. The Glanfathans said we trespassed in the ruins. I don't believe that. Edema would never allow it. But as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glenfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or she glances down the passage beyond. Or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. That's true. We really don't need that right now, but something tells me if there are looters in here, they were probably killed by whatever else is in here. What about everyone else in our caravan? Her lips press together with her chin, and her chin rumples. Her voice is faint. The wheels got a hold of them now. She looks up. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives. You don't seem too upset about all this. Khaleesi looks you in the eye, a volatile current running beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse, too. Seen worse and kept on walking, 'cause there's nothing else to be done, and 'cause there's other people you care about who still need you. Well, let's get going. This is going to be an ongoing series in our... this will probably be a good while before we complete these games. These games easily become very long, especially if you...
Here. See if they left anything useful behind.
Especially since we're going to be doing a lot of reading the dialogue, going through all that stuff. Let's see here.
Yes?
I don't recall doing a lot of scouting in my last game. Hammer and chisel, scouting, and a mace. Okay, good. We got some camping supplies, which will be helpful. We got a small shield and a torch.
Certainly.
Khaleesi already has a torch. This guy, what is he? What does he do? I don't know what kind of character he is. Is there a way we can find out? He's a rogue. Okay, so he can be the scout. Let's see what kind of abilities he has and what we can do. He's defeated 9 enemies? I don't recall him being that good. Maybe I could be wrong. But he's got good dexterity, good perception, which is pretty good for a rogue. He's got good accuracy, reflexes. He's got great reflexes. He's blinding strike, fighting spirit, second wind, sneak attack. Sneak attack, that's great. So he's a really good scout, and it sounds like he's a pretty good dual wielder. I don't see any skills in that, though. Stealth and mechanics. I mean, he's good for disarming traps. That's excellent. I think if we use the scouting ability, that's actually good for detecting traps. So we're going to turn that on.
Yes?
I want him to look for traps. And, of course, if you've ever played a dungeon game, a dungeon crawler, a D&D, or any of these fantasy games, any of the dungeons, they typically have traps in them. Maybe we should do some scouting with him.
How can I help?
And I don't know if lighting affects his stealth ability. We'll find out. These doorways, I don't know. I feel like I should be whispering because he's sneaking. So we've got a Zarip. Hidden object. Headshot based on his mechanic skill. A higher mechanic skill allows them to find objects of greater distance. Maybe something over here triggered? He's not hostile. Let's maybe move our troops up. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn that off here. I forgot to do that last between games. And I think with A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it is a Zarip. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. Raise your arms and stand still. It's okay, I won't hurt you. And stand still. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. That was a neat little sound effect of it sniffing. It's okay, I won't hurt you. The Zarip recoils, fingers still wrapped tightly around its spear. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. Slowly back away. The Zarip watches you wearily as you go. We're gonna put you back in scouting. Because I want to continue through here, but I don't want to be noticed by this guy. I don't know if I want him to attack. I can see the circle here. It is... He's going to get detected here any second. Oh, see, that's not what... that's exactly what I didn't want to happen.
Certainly.
Yeah, I don't know if something would have happened later on if we didn't attack him. Like, he would have helped us. I don't know. We'll find out. What I was going to say, though, is that we're probably going to do... Since these are not going to be as frequent as our CK2 or any of the other series that we start doing, we might just do these in hour-long blocks. Just so we don't end up...
Wait. Do you hear that?
I haven't quite decided. I might just chop these down to 40-minute episodes versus an hour-long. Hour-long videos are kind of hard to digest at a time. I'm going to take all of this stuff. Ooh, tattered journal. The small folio is torn in several places and blood has soaked into several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible. Excuse me. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got my hands on a genuine hang with an artifact. Fellow who had it said it was a pretty nothing, but as far as he's concerned, he's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about the gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to Salant Lys in the morning. Then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Now, don't know if that worked out very well for you.
Those tiles look suspicious. Let's be careful.
I've nearly escaped the strange and deadly wind that tore through the valley, but now I'm trapped in the ancient ruins that the caravan master told us to stay clear of. I thought there wasn't oh, I will have to find my way through the ruins to get to safety. I've come across a section of tiles marked with peculiar symbols that may be a clue there might be a clue about their meeting nearby. I feel like that's trapped, so we're going to just keep exploring to see if we can find something. This also looks trapped too.
That roundish symbol. I'm pretty sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
Roundish symbol. Is he talking about this one? Where does he see that? A symbol of patterned circles inscribed on this pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit if you had the means. Flames kindle swiftly in the brazier, winding their way upwards. Okay. I see. So it disarms some of these tiles here. Okay.
Yes.
Let's do another one. Same thing. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna grab everybody. what button? Backspace is select all.
Certainly.
So I'm going to keep going through here. I want to light all these up. Let's pause quick. Okay. It didn't... It hasn't... there's enough for a path for us to get through, so that's good. The mural must be ancient, yet the colors are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Igwithans from the Kith races, Amen, Elf, Orlan, Dwarf, and Human. They walk among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one topped with a flame. Okay, we've got a couple of these oozes. Let's focus fire on these guys. Edit Gamora. No, we don't want to edit that. Arcane Assault?
Yes. Spot on!
Oh. Let's try that again. Okay, these aren't as bad as I thought they were. This is kind of like a tutorial dungeon, so we're not going to be terribly scared of what happens down here. Ooze plasma. Seems like a
Certainly.
component for something.
Oh? What's that muck on the wall?
Viscous and oily, this muck clings to anything it touches. Viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down from this wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that there's something that lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Use your water skin to clear off the ooze. As you rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of man's face, the sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of its head, from the tight curls of its hair to the ridges of its pointy ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. Well, we do have that gem, so I think we're going to place it in the eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Oh, is this that treasure that was talked about by that one explorer? The dead one? I don't know why it doesn't want to unpause.
Certainly.
More ooze. Ooh, minor cloak of protection, an amethyst, and an adra.
Certainly.
Is that it? Huh. Okay. Let's take a look at the map. All right, looks like let's explore back here because I feel like this is our exit. Great. I have a strange illness. I'm not entirely sure how to get rid of that. Let's take a look at him. No, I don't want to look at his... let's take a look here. Does he not have the illness? Is it her? Is it Khaleesi that has it? Damage reduction. Well, I'm at a loss. Are you sure it's not him? No. I feel like it should list it somewhere. Well, we're not going to worry too much about it. It might... Hopefully it's a conditional, and it will only last so long. We have a Skuldare Whelp. Alright. Again, this is just the first dungeon. Not terribly exciting for battles.
Take a look at the wall. Think we could get through?
Probably. A crack runs along the wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through it. Let's, Can we push on it? Despite the damage, the stone seems heavy and solid. Try something else. Let's use a hammer and chisel to weaken it. You set to work. The cracks lengthen and widen with your efforts, but the process is more taxing than you expected. Sweat beads from your forehead and your muscles begin to ache. Continue chiseling. After several long... we lost the hammer and chisel. So I feel like we're going to get a lot of objects that are going to help us in certain missions and dungeons. Like the chisel and hammer. I didn't particularly look at that or the gem when we picked it up. So I'm going to be a little bit more vigilant to that. After several long moments, you begin to see light on the other side. With one final tap, several blocks of stone shift, then tumble loose, clearing a gap just wide enough to pass through.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
I think that's probably a good idea. Okay, we have another Skald. And another one. So we have a couple Skalds. Let's find out what's ahead. I believe this looks like it's going to go right into the other chamber that... there's a couple of... I like that. That's really cool. Is that there's a lot of... let's pull back. There's a lot of different ways of handling a mission. And we actually did both. So that's really cool. I love it when games give you multiple ways and means to tackle a problem. So I think we are going to... Let's see if we can do a sneak attack. Of course, I got stunned. Ooh, we got him. Good. We got him good on that sneak attack at the last moment. Okay, they didn't present any sort of challenge to us either. I'm not going to get cocky, though. This is just the first mission. We are going to use Hodin to scout ahead. Yeah, there's another spider. And it looks like our boss, Famished Spear Spider. And what's down this passageway? Another dead explorer, some more loot. Alright, I think we're going to put him right here, because we're going to sneak up. Ooh. We're going to put him right there so he can sneak up on these guys.
How can I help? Yes. Yeah. Not quite.
Nice job. Nice job, guys. A spider leg. There's nothing back there. Alright, let's read what this says. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. Yeah. Bloodstone. Bloodstone is traditionally a dark stone, often a deep green, but the presence of pockets of iron or red jasper resembles blood spatter, giving the stone its name as well as value. Okay. Ooh. So we grabbed a sword, too. Didn't look magical, though. We're not going to escape just yet. We're going to check out what's over here. A helm. And looks like more gemstones. We got an agate. Agates are common in Aurora, often used by craftsmen for their bright colors. Their considerable hardness also lends them a variety of more practical applications. Oh, I didn't get to read that one. That's fine. Those are just gems. They're not anything particularly exciting. They're just more for selling. All right, let's leave. We're going to pause for a second and take a look at our inventory. Maybe we have some better objects. Let's take a look at Celestia's armor. We have hide armor, medium armor. What does she have now? Medium armor, scale armor, recovery speed. That's okay. We'd rather have she's kind of our tank right now, and I think that it's more advantageous for her to have some good armor. I don't like the fact that she has a torch as her secondary. I'm not a huge fan in these games of... Oh, I see. I'm not a huge fan of dual wielding in these games until people are of higher level. Is she proficient in any sort of different weapon types? No. I gotta be missing something. I mean, plus 21% for might. That's good. Maybe I'm not missing anything. In previous games, like Baldur's Gate and other games like that, you could select skills of what you're proficient in for weaponry. And I don't see that anywhere, which is fine, I guess. Let's see here. 10 to 15 versus what does she have? Is this the same weapon? No. Hatchet, 11 to 16. Nope. How about this rapier? 11 to 16, which is also that. Okay. And these are all hide armor. This is leather armor. What does... I think she is good, actually. So let's switch over to him, take a look. I don't like the fact that he's up close. I think we'll keep that like that, but we also want him to have that skill. I don't know if we have to worry about... I don't know if we have to worry about arrows in this game. Put a helmet on him. What armor do you have? Leather. And you don't have anything better. That's just clothing. My main character, he's got heavy armor, which is fine. Actually, it's probably not the best for a mage. We might consider changing it up for him. Let's put those in a pile. So we got a good stack of loot here that we can use to sell. Not sure what happened to our gems, though. Oh, we got more stuff here. Interesting. It's a two-handed weapon, small shield. Let's put some of the stuff in here just to check out, because I want to know if we... That one's fine. We're going to keep that there. Okay, so this is our crafting stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, we'll leave that alone for now. Leather armor? Nope. Not better than what people have. That's good, but I mean, it's a two-handed weapon, so I'm not gonna... No, we're not gonna deal with that. We might consider putting that in there, that in there, that in there, that. Yeah, clear up a little bit. With these other characters, she has a shield, deflection of 12, and -4 to accuracy. Same thing, those are same. So we're gonna put those back as well. His weapon is that's a hunting bow, that's a hunting bow, so they're all the same hunting bows. We could also switch to a crossbow, potentially. It is a slow speed. That's fast. So I like that. Oh, it doesn't have that. Does it have average damage? What can we enchant? Can we have any access to anything? No. Okay. Didn't think so, but you never know. Alright, I think we've upgraded our troop enough. We're going to... Oh, here we go. Older robed man. 4 fingers stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionly in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it and in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions that jut out like wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness. And see, this man has kept his word, true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part. You have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells in the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from below. Its shimmering texture gives the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours, and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions, pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that might be answered or... At the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick gray beard in ceremonial robes, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all. The question spins madly in your mind. You awaken to find your malaise has broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tic. If this is sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Hayden and Calicia lay bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Oh, that's a shame. Calicia, she was sharp-tongued, and she was very, I don't know how to put it. She had a golden heart. She was looking for her sister, and hopefully we can find her sister on our own, and that she's okay. Hayden, unfortunately, his journeys have come to an end. He was somebody that we saw a kindred spirit with. He left his home, his family, to seek adventure on the open road, and his journey has come to an end as well. But we are left alone in this unforgiving land and uncertainty of what just happened. It seems to us that is becoming more and more what we just witnessed, more and more like a dream where it kind of just starts fading. With that, we're going to end this episode. This is episode 1 of Pillars of Eternity. If you like what you see, please leave a like, a comment, or even subscribe maybe. Thanks. We will see you back here on Wednesday with episode 2.